Hi, Eryn. Eryn, email me pictures of you. I double dog dare you. Because when I think of you, I think of how sweet you are. And I think of you as like two little kittens because that's your profile picture. That's not fair. You've seen me. It's time for me to see you. If you want, if not, that's fine. Okay. All right, Eryn, good question. And I told you I would video respond, so that's what I'm doing. But first, will you please say a prayer for my sweet little Franklin, because he is not feeling well. And I was just thinking stomach bug, but it might be something worse than that. I don't know. We're going to find out tomorrow morning. I'm out in the car. Greg's inside with all 5 kids. I'll make this quick. Or maybe I won't. Maybe we'll just chat for an hour. Okay, here I go. I'll answer. Eryn, you said, am I still going to the YMCA? And how's my energy level? Very, very, very good questions. So I am currently, for a couple different reasons, not going to the YMCA right now. Number one, because stomach bug all week long. Like, I have had like 1 or 2 days this week, maybe, that all the kids were in school. It's a variety of who's staying home because of vomiting and diarrhea and whatnot. But when I'm going to go into some detail on this next Thursday. I've already recorded it. So I've sort of already answered your question, but you won't see it till next Thursday. When I started macros, girl, I had the energy for exercise. It was there on the ready, on the fly, because I was consuming so many carbohydrates and good ones. Oh, excuse me. Good carbohydrates. I mean, good. You guys, this is, first of all, I was not planning on sharing this for a long, long, long time, but I'm glad to go ahead and share it. And I think it's going to be good for me. And I wouldn't have gone ahead and shared it if I didn't think that the BBBE challenge if I didn't think it was going to be such a really, really, really good fit for me. Like I said, I've been experimenting. I've been playing around with this for a while. And it does take some troubleshooting. And if you want to experiment with this, plan on troubleshooting. But to start off, 2 things. Eat foods you love and don't let yourself get hungry. Don't those sound like a couple great rules? Don't let yourself get, especially if you're like on sugar and flour, do not let yourself get hungry on this, because you're not going to like reach for a hamburger patty. If you're on sugar and flour, just eat animal products, period, as much as you want all day long. And you're exactly right. Eryn, for anybody listening, Eryn left me a comment up underneath my I've been keeping a juicy secret video. And she said, wow, I don't think I'd be hungry if I were eating that way either. You're not. It hits your stomach like a bunch of fatty meat. And by the way, this whole thing has been very, very, very interesting. And you all know I love behavior. You know I love behavior. I can't get enough of it. I'm fascinated by it. Fatty, salty. I keep salt. And by the way, salt's very, very important on this. Because if you're not eating carbohydrates and you're not carrying water around, you are peeing out all your electrolytes. You need to... Some people... Listen, this is why you have to do what works for your individual body, because every single body is different. Greg's doing this with me. He and I are having very different experiences with it, but we're both, for the time being, sold on it. And I did not realize it, but I've got, well, I looked earlier and saw I have 75 videos in that playlist. By the way, for the sake of conversation, I'll tell you some videos I didn't add to that playlist. Anybody that wanted to talk about, and there's tons, bazillions of carnivore videos on YouTube. Tons of people, tons of success stories. Yes, there are people that are like, this is bull, this is baloney, blah, 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 blah. Meanwhile, the American Diabetes Association puts out a, I'm not even going to link it. You can, if you want to go to Dr. Ken Berry, he just recently put it on there, but they posted a picture of pancakes with syrup on them covered in bananas. What? Maybe there's some type of like healthy pancakes. That's why I said quote unquote good carbohydrates. Carbohydrates, sugar is sugar is sugar is sugar, and I don't want my insulin spiking. I don't want, oh you guys, when I was doing macros, it was very, very interesting because it just took me like 2 weeks of macros to find myself like gravitating towards avocados, Ezekiel bread, and bananas. I was also making myself, remember that video, if anybody saw it, 40-day fast, where I was making myself like green smoothies, but I could tell that if I had a green smoothie, I better eat a chicken breast with it, or I'm gonna be so hungry, because all that sugar, the pineapple, the banana, the spinach, that's not exactly sugar, but still carbs, the coconut milk blended together, which, I mean, we know sugar, in the world of sugar addiction, we know that's a big no-no, but to blend it and drink it, I might as well put it right in my veins. It gets to my bloodstream so quickly. But I was noticing that was my little like, and I had bought plant protein powder. I poured that down the sink. I was having to eat a chicken breast with it, or I'd be so hungry. And I thought, this is so silly. I'm trying to enjoy these like delicious fruit, vegetable smoothies as like a post-workout snack to recover from working out, but I'm having to add protein anyways. Anyway, here's what's not in the playlist. There are so many, especially now that I'm doing it, it gets a little overwhelming, right? And part of me is like, I cringe even adding to all the voices on YouTube, but I am happy to get on YouTube and read this, period, the Bible. So that's why I don't talk much in my videos. If you watch this last one, I talk more than ever in the Woe Is She video number 46, because I read it at sunrise and the cows were cracking me up. All these, they thought I was coming out there to feed them, so it was like a choir, it was a chorus of mooing and bawling around me. So I did talk a little, but I aim to just read the Bible, because there's so many voices on YouTube. And even this BBBE challenge, there's just, you could just scroll and scroll and scroll and see, and it's really, really neat, but sometimes it just feels like, TMI, too much information, too much data to sift through. People doing the BBBE challenge, and they're on, you know, their thumbnails are like fancy, like, I'm on day 1, or my results, or blah, blah, blah. Most of it's day 1. I don't know. I don't know how many people made it to day 30, but I'm sure a lot of people did. But it reminds me of when a new mom's having a baby and people want to give her so much advice and so much information. And oh, it just felt like a brick when someone would hand me a book, like another brick on top of like, so overwhelming. All that information. That's why when I see new moms, I try to keep it very, very simple if I have any advice at all. And I do. If you're a new mom, if you're about to have a baby, take it from me. Only buy white socks. You will thank me for that. When their socks are this big and you're doing laundry and you have to find 46 pairs and try and match them up, you'll thank me for that. I have a couple other bits of advice, but I'm gonna hang on to those for now. So when I was creating this playlist, I did not just put every video I watched about carnivore in there. There's 75 videos, and those are the ones that made the cut. I did not add any videos from anyone. In fact, it was an immediate red flag if they started talking about calories or even weighing or measuring. Nope, I didn't add it, because I've listened to enough people that are like, it doesn't have to be that way. Maybe for some people, I didn't want it, I didn't add it. I also immediately quit listening. Nope, nope, not for me. If they started talking about adding sugar, this one doctor was like, yes, I do this and blah, 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 and I've written a cookbook. And in his cookbook, he talks about making some kind of ice cream. And he's like, I think a little sugar. And I was like, no. Next, you're out, strike. I gave people one strike. If they say sugar, no. So anyways, I want you to know that the 75 videos in my playlist, I've watched them all. And Eryn, you're right. When you say, if I ate the way you're eating, I'd get really full. Again, I'm going to talk next Thursday about, am I going to the YMCA? Not this week because of my kids, but also I learned so much doing Bright Line Eating, okay? And one of the main things that I learned was, and it's like I knew this from anecdotal personal experience for 25 years, but one thing I learned from Bright Line Eating, and Susan Pierce Thompson, like, gives people permission to put your bunny slippers on. Now, I doing Bright Line Eating was not hardly ever able to take them off until I quit and ate more so that I would have energy. Some people, I'm sure, had a seamless transition from losing the weight, maintaining the weight, adding food back in. Girl, not me. I added food back in like the addict that I am at times. And because I was managing hunger, and the best analogy is I was managing oxygen. I was holding my breath. I never got to where I didn't binge on Bright Line Eating. But I digress. So Susan Pierce Thompson taught me, and she sort of, like I said, solidified for me something that I already sort of subconsciously knew. You got to get your eating in order first before you add all that exercise, or your willpower will be totally depleted. You'll be totally exhausted and very, very hungry, and then not make the kind of food choices you want to make. So I am giving myself permission right now to take 100 days. Greg and I were doing a 30-day carnivore, and now we've started a 100-day, because 100 days from when we started the other day is our wedding anniversary, our 20-year wedding anniversary, and that was a God thing. I did not realize that. In fact, I'm so excited that I got this really cool thing in the mail today. Okay, never mind. I'll show you. It's a 100-day calendar. You rip off the pages, and it's exactly like what was in, if you ever watched Chris something on extreme weight loss, he would have, and I made one of these ones. I printed it out. I did not know you could buy them, but baby, you couldn't buy them back then when I made it. It just says days left 100, and you just, Chris, his name is Chris, and he worked with people that were morbidly obese and extreme weight loss, I think is what the show was called. He was a really, really nice guy, but he would give these people, and they would hang it on their wall and like tear it off. So you can buy on Amazon a 100-day tear off. I'll show you. Hang on, give me oh, I got all sorts of fun stuff in here. Here, let's do a haul. Can we do a haul? I'm coming, Greg. I'm right in the middle of something important. Give me a minute. Okay, check this out. 100 days left. And then you hang it. It shows you how to hang it. You hang it on, this is the coolest. You hang it on the wall and then you get to tear these off every day. So I'm giving myself a 100-day grace period to, Eryn, this is very serious, to recalibrate. Oh my goodness. It is a very real process to switch fuel sources and to switch from burning carbohydrates to burning fat. I'm on a 0 carb diet right now. I'm not on a low carb. You know what's funny? Isn't that just, if y'all know me, that is such a fit for me because I'm definitely an abstainer, not a moderator. And a low carb diet never interested me. No thanks. So I counted my macros and I counted lots of carbohydrates. But hear me when I say this. When you eat carbohydrates, you get a boost. You're like, yeah, this is a little, because it's sugar. Sugar is sugar is sugar is sugar is sugar. And that's what I'm realizing. You know, back in the day, our ancestors, this house right here was built in 1829. Those people were planting food and going out there and harvesting it. But the people before them, I don't know how much further, I don't even know. And there's a lot of debate about how old the world really is. But I'm positive that people ate mostly meat and a little bit of berries, a little tiny bit of vegetation, not mass produced the way we do now, which is a problem. And I've been thinking for the past 2 years that like fruit is healthy sugar. Fruit is still sugar. So like my kids now, and by the way, this is a whole process, you know, because it's like, yikes, how do I do an experiment, but then still feed them kind of like how they were, but still, if I'm really buying into this, then how? It's a little tricky, but I'm gonna tell you, there's one way to do this, gradually. Not so much for me, but for my family. I've been phasing things out. Nobody's even noticed that I haven't bought peanut butter. Literally none of my kids have noticed. Except my 17-year-old pointed out the other day that since he's gotten off peanut butter, his acne went away. Terrible acne. We were this close to getting him on medication. He just quit eating the peanut butter and his face is cleared up. It's kind of amazing. But sugar is on a glycemic index. Berries have the least. So when I pick my kids up from school, I know they're hungry. So I greet them with meat. Today I picked them up and I had bologna and hard-boiled eggs from a gas station. The other day I picked them up and they were wanting Easter candy and I had berries with me. I said, here, how about this? I had paper plates and strawberries and blueberries. If you listen to these videos below, you're gonna hear Kelly Hogan talk about like, yes, I do let my kids have fruit. And she's like, but not like apples and bananas. And I'm like, who would give their kids apples and bananas? This is a paradigm shift, let me tell you. So when you quit giving yourself carbohydrates that give you a boost, well, now you're eating like a lion does. And Eryn, I kid you not, and I'm going to talk more about this next week, probably much more concise, but when you eat carbohydrates, whether it's bad sugar or bad sugar, I said it, fruit is bad sugar because sugar is not good for us. Arguably, I don't know. I'm still kind of figuring it out, but I know sugar is not good for me. I'll speak for myself. But when you eat bad sugar or good sugar, now yes, lots and lots of fruit has lots and lots of vitamins, but what I'm finding out is carnivores don't have to have so much vitamin C, and they get it from the beef, we get it from animal products, but we don't even have to have so much because so much of the SAD diet blocks your ability to absorb vitamins that you got to eat a freaking ton for your body to get the amount it needs. It's really amazing to me, actually, what all I'm learning about what our bodies need and how they're able to get what they need from animals. I heard a lady say the other day, she was like, I know, it's sad. It's sad to think about eating all these animals, but they all eat each other. You know, it is very natural. But she said it takes life to have life. I thought that was a very good way to word it. And we're cattle farmers, and I have very cute little baby calves out here bawling. But I'm raising my kids to be grateful for what God's given us. And He has given us delicious ribeyes. I'm glad calves aren't a thing like lambs are, because I don't know that I could personally. I was telling Greg, I was like, I can't eat lamb. It's just like a cute little baby. I mean, what if this like cute little gray calf that was in my What Was She number 46 video, what if I looked at him and I was like, he would be so delicious. Where was I? If you eat carbs, you're like, I'm ready to go. When you eat a big meal of meat, it's been very different. Oh my gosh, it makes me feel like I've just taken a sleeping pill. But that's what you see lions do. You see them eat a big, huge meal and then go crawl up under a tree and sleep. So, Eryn, week 1, I was feeling pretty good, eating lots of beef because I've been listening to lots of Kelly Hogan. But then week 2, I started to listen to other people that were like, you gotta make this work. You gotta be realistic. Run in Walmart and I've been listening to people that like, and don't get me wrong, all that stuff is really, 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 really good advice. But for my brain, that's kind of has addictive tendencies. I heard people talking about snacky type stuff, and I was like, Greg, stop on your way home and get me pork rinds and rotisserie chickens and cheese and just basically pork rinds and rotisserie chickens and cheese. So when I started filling up on all that, it was an almost instant downhill spiral for me second week, week 2. Maybe because my body's really adapting and having to switch this fuel source. But I think more than anything, I was eating animal product. Yes. Go me. 0 carbohydrates. Very good. But it didn't have all the nutrients that red meat has. So I was basically, I had displaced my plate with just basically what would be sort of like carnivore junk food. It didn't have the fatty acids, the amino acids, the vitamins, if you held, I heard someone say earlier, kale is called a superfood. If you hold a list of red meat next to a list of kale, all of the nutrition in it, it blows kale out of the water. Beef is full of nutrition. So I am giving myself a 100-day grace period right now to not worry about exercise, but I most definitely want to move. I've got a bicycle. Okay, there's our house that we're working on. Very exciting. A guy came in today and was talking to me about the AC units for the upstairs. That little building right there has my bicycle in it. And I haven't ridden it in a long time because the seat I need to adjust it. I want to get that thing out like tomorrow and take it for a spin with the girls. I want to have fun moving. I don't want the pressure of, and I didn't feel pressure when I was going to the YMCA recently. I still want to build muscle. But I've got to have a period of time right now to adjust. So I'm considering it, I'm calling it recalibrating. I'm recalibrating. I'm giving myself 100 days to, yes, go to the YMCA when I feel like it. Yes, go to yoga when I feel like it. But if I don't feel like it, I'm not going to push myself. Week 2 of carnivore was so rough that I was not questioning whether or not I should do it, but I was questioning like, how long is this gonna last? Where I eat a meal and then like can't keep my eyes open for several hours. It was like I told Greg I felt like I had mono. But then I started looking online and found out for some people, that's what it's like. They call it kind of like a carb flu. And I didn't even consider myself on any kind of sad diet because I was not eating sugar or flour, but I was eating so many carbohydrates that I still totally got myself off carbs. But I have one friend that lives right down the road from me, and I called him and his wife, and he's been carnivore for years now. And I just asked him if that was normal, if that was his experience, and he kept saying, well, everybody has to make this work for themselves. Greg and I are very different, so Greg has not experienced that type of exhaustion. But anyways, just talking to him made me feel so much better, because when I talk, and I don't talk. When I only listen to people online, sometimes I just feel like I'm going cross-eyed, and it's just like so much information, so many different voices, so many different opinions and perspectives, and it was really, really, really good for me to talk to him, and that gave me kind of a boost of like, okay, I can do this, I can keep going. That's when I started adding electrolytes to my water. That's very important on this. Again, I'm going to talk about this next week. So, Eryn, to answer your question, today's been the best carnivore day I've had by far. I personally feel really good on an emptier stomach doing this. Before, you guys, it's like flipping the coin. When I was eating the way I was eating, I felt best when I had food. It was a constant. That's why I broke it into like 6 meals, and I'm going to talk about this next Thursday. But on macros, by the time I had been doing macros for a while, I was up to 6 meals. Breakfast, pre-workout, post-workout, lunch, dinner, evening snack. Something like that. It was like I had to eat all day long. That means my insulin was spiked all day long. When your insulin is spiked, you are not in fat burning mode. And I could tell I was like gaining weight, and I was like, I just felt, I could sort of sense that my insulin was spiked. So I felt best when I was eating, because I kind of like had to keep eating. And I was telling this nutritionist one day at the YMCA, she was working out next to me, and I said, you know, I'm really playing around with my food right now. And I said, I think the problem is I need to space it out more, don't I? Because I was like desperate for energy. And she was like, yeah. And she said, I was just kind of like running it by her, but I said, I need to eat, like, I was basically telling her, I need to eat all day long, don't I? I just need to be like constantly eating. It doesn't seem like a great idea. So, Eryn, I feel better today than I have in a long time. Mentally, physically, I just feel optimistic. This BBBE seems like a perfect fit for me, at least for 30 days, where all of my eating is within a window. And then I get the rest of the time to just get into that fasting feeling. You know, that fasting energy you have when you're on a roll around the house, you're on a roll at work, you're on a roll painting a mural, and you sort of forget to eat because you're building momentum, and today's been really great, and I'm very optimistic that I've perhaps turned some kind of corner. So my eating window for these 30 days, and after these 30 days, I know people that eat 2 meals a day this way, and that's just gonna settle right into a pattern that's right for the individual. You know, my life, my lifestyle, our schedule, our kids, what works for us would not work for everyone else. I'm not going to worry about this exact window necessarily unless after 30 days I'm like, this was perfect for me. I'll be happy to keep doing it. But when you said, wow, if I were eating like that, I wouldn't be hungry either. I wasn't, and I was doing that on purpose. Don't let yourself get hungry and enjoy what you're eating. And don't worry. I don't think weight, if somebody has lots and lots of weight to lose, it's going to fall off. But for someone like me who's lost so much already, you know, I'm kind of back to that place where I'm like, my pants are a little tight, but it's not that bad, you know. The weight isn't enough of a motivator for me to keep doing something that would be really, really hard and not fun and not delicious. So by all means, make it delicious. Don't forget about your weight. There will be time to tweak things later. Right now, just get through the adjustment period for anybody starting off. Get through the adjustment period of switching fuel sources. That is a huge deal. Now, Kelly Hogan talks about eating 4 burger patties for breakfast. She's done this for like 11 or 12 years now. She's to this point. 4 burger patties for breakfast and either 2 or 4 for dinner. And sometimes she puts bacon grease on them like icing. I did that today. It was so good. A homemade burger patty with bacon grease that's in my refrigerator now and some salt. This is what I'm talking about, primal. When you're really, really hungry, nothing tastes better. I'm going to speak for myself. Nothing tastes better than salty, fatty meat that you've been told your whole life, if you're like me, to limit, because it causes all the problems that we're just now starting to find out. Actually, sugar. Okay, so maybe sugar doesn't cause all of those problems, but sugar causes so many more problems than we have been led to believe over the years. Who out there, who's with me? Do you all remember when they used to just call sugar empty calories? It's not bad for you, it's just not good for you. That is not true. It's very, 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 very bad for us. And what I've also started to realize is the dyes, what are they called? Red 40 Lake, something, red, blue lake, something, that, somewhere around here I've got, oh, my kids, there it is. I'm gonna rip this bag open so you can see this. The food dyes, literally no nutritional value, just poison that people are starting. There's a TED Talk I could link. Okay, I'll link it below. There's a TED Talk about the terrible effects that these food dyes, so not just sugar but dyes. And isn't that just so us here in America? We want to eat things that look like toys. We want to eat things that are like bright and colorful and shiny. Not necessarily good for us, just colorful and shiny. So, okay, here's my kids' robin eggs that the Easter Bunny brought them. Daggone Easter Bunny. Okay, check this out. Blah, 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 blah. So the first ingredient, sugar. The second ingredient, sugar. The third ingredient, sugar. No surprise. Milk has lactose in it. That's sugar. Hydrogenated oil. My goodness, this is interesting. I seriously may never buy something like this for my kids again, because the ingredients is like poison after poison after poison after poison. Okay. No surprise that it's nothing but sugar. You know, forgive me, I'm kind of having a moment. Like, we know this stuff's not good for kids, but then when you read the ingredients, you're like, oh, there's nothing good in here? I mean, of course not, right? But it's still kind of crazy to see it in, I can't say black and white, I'll say, it's kind of crazy to see it in yellow and purple. But this is what I want you to notice. Look at the food dyes down here. Artificial color, blue 1 lake, red 40 lake, yellow 5 lake. Now, blue, red, and yellow, those are primary colors. Those are the only colors we need, because from those 3 colors we can make orange, purple, and green. Okay, I'll link below a TED Talk I just watched about, actually, I'll put that in the trash, about the effects that these food dyes are having on kids. Now, Greg and I both used to teach special education. He and I both specialized in LBD, learning and behavior disorders. And yes, a lot of kids are born addicted to drugs because their parents were taking drugs while they were pregnant with them. But there are a lot of kids that just have sensitivities to these food dyes, which is literally like sucking on a marker or like drinking ink. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I'll link it below. Anyways, no, sugar's not to blame for everything, but sugar is to blame for so much more than we've been told over the years. And red meat is not to be blamed for so much that we've been told over the years. And it's criminal. It's absolutely criminal. The things that have happened, the studies that have been done, the follow the money. Follow the money. I'll also link below I'll put 2 links below. The podcast about the PUFAs, about the disgusting seed oils that in order for them to be edible for human beings, they have to be deodorized. They stink. And you know, if you take a good oil, a healthy oil, and you expose it to light and you expose it to oxygen, you're breaking it all down and you're making it not healthy. That's like saying, you know, if I don't know, no good analogies coming to me right now. I'll just put it like it is. These oils, these seed oils, soybean oil, canola oil, vegetable oil, in order to make them to where a human would even consume them, the process they have to go to get to that point, deodorized and then colored, it's worse than, it's like what they used to say about sugar, that it's an empty calorie. It's not bad for you, but it's not good for you. And that's not true. It's actually bad for you. So I'll link below information about food dyes and the effect it has on children especially. And Greg and I have worked with so many kids over the years that have such a hard time dealing with their own personal circumstances that are definitely nature, definitely their genetics, definitely what they were born with, but so much is nurture, so much is what we're doing to them. When you know better, you did better. Thank you, Maya Angelou, for that one. And I'm glad to know better. I'll link below information about food dyes and information about PUFAs. And now I'd like to show you my Carnivore Haul. I'm slowly, as I buy into this more and more, and as I really want to give it a good go, right? So and by the way, for the record, I'm not recommending that any of you do this because I haven't done it yet. Unless you want to. Join me, come on, let me know. What I am recommending is that you get curious about it, especially since so many of you all struggle in very similar ways that I do. So I don't know, I highly recommend you get curious about it. Check it out. Just check it out. But I have been, because I am buying into this more and more, and like I said, because I really want to give it a good go, I have been slowly kind of like transitioning my kitchen. I've been buying less fruit and just setting it out in a cute little basket. I put the toaster away, and I'm going to buy myself an air fryer and toss steaks in there and toss little bits of fat in there and just eat crispy fat. I don't even know, it all sounds so good. I'm gonna buy myself, I'm literally changing my kitchen sort of subtly and gradually, and no one seems to notice or care. And when we have dinner, I tell them, okay, tonight we're having hamburgers and hot dogs. If you want a side item, you can have one. Let me know, I'll make it for you. Okay, without further ado, here's my haul. And like I said, I'm changing my kitchen. I'm making it visual. I think that's very important that we reinforce new behaviors that we want visually. Let's don't, it's Ephesians 4:22 through 24, am I right? Take off the old that's being corrupted by its deceitful desires. Put on the new that's made new in the attitude. Shall we read it? Ephesians 22 through 24. Take off you were taught with regards to your former way of life. You were taught with regard to your former way of life to put off your old self, which is being corrupted by its deceitful desires, to be made new in the attitude of your minds, and to put on the new self, created to be like God in true righteousness and holiness. Amen to that. 2 Corinthians 5:17. Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. The old has gone, the new has come. So I'm making my kitchen new. I'm giving myself new things to look at. I'm keeping this positive. You all know I take keeping things positive very seriously. Behavior modification is a very real thing. The struggle is real. Am I right? And if we really want to change our behaviors, we've got to change our environments to set ourselves up for success with our behaviors. So without further ado, I have this haul here that is in my car because it was at my mother-in-law's house. The UPS people don't even leave stuff at my house right now, because where would they leave it? It's kind of crazy around here with construction that's coming along beautifully. Okay, here I go. I'll start with this. A burger smasher. So this is a Cuisinart. And by the way, I love everything that came in the mail. If you like any of these products, I do give them a thumbs up. I love them. So far, so good. Nothing's going back to Amazon. Okay, Cuisinart cast iron smash burger tool. This thing is so heavy. So when I put burgers on the skillet, I want to be able to smash them down and make them nice and flat and crispy and delicious. Okay, the next thing is Redmond's salt. This is real salt. And when you start watching Carnivore people, you are going to think you're watching Redmond real salt commercials over and over and over. So Redmond real salt is ancient fine sea salt. It literally has, prepare yourself, it looks like sand. I did not know how I felt about this at first. It is pretty delicious. I still use my other sea salt, but look, those are little bits of, I tried to look it up. I don't know. They tried to call it like something healthy. I think it's dirt, but I like dirt. Okay, I'm kidding. It's not dirt, but this stuff is actually really, really cool. And what was really neat is I watched a Redmond's real salt video about them going in there and mining it. They don't do anything to it. They just mine it. Long before the earth knew pollution, volcanic eruptions sealed an ancient, pristine ocean beneath a layer of protective ash in what is now North America. All right, that sentence really said more than I can comprehend at this hour, but sounds nice. A hidden ocean beneath the layer of what is now North America. Real Salt is the only brand of sea salt harvested from this ancient deposit near Redmond, Utah. We bring it to you exactly as nature created it, an unrefined ancient sea salt with a subtle sweet flavor unlike any other salt on earth. All right, they have convinced me, but more than anything, I just like visuals, right? So if I see all these carnivore people and I want to be carnivore like them, I went ahead and bought myself some. And I even saw one girl saying that she keeps this one with her. Hold on, you want to see something cute? I got a couple cute little things to show you. She keeps her Redmond salt with her in her car. How cute is that? That is an itty bitty baby Real Salt. But I'm gonna tell you something funny. I did keep this in the car for a while and it emptied out in no time. So this, I don't know, I'll probably just make earrings. So small, so cute. I'll toss it in my purse, but I'm gonna keep one of these in my car. I kid you not. All right, here's something else cute. This has nothing to do with carnivore. Oh, that's me, hold on. Crest Peppermint breath drops. I bought these on Amazon, a whole big pack like you would see at the drugstore. And at the drugstore, they sell them for like $1.50 a piece. These are just little drops, just in case you're ever concerned about your breath and you don't chew gum like me. So I haven't chewed gum in years and years and years. I have binged countless times, but I don't binge on Wrigley's Spearmint. Not anymore. I mean, I never binged on that, but by the grace of God, I'll never binge again. Wouldn't that be nice? Okay, let's move on. This Zule Kitchen. Our story. Sorry, Zule, I'm not going to read your story. I've read enough stories for tonight. All right, Zule Kitchen. Let me tell you what this is. This is a bacon grease catcher. And I've got all my bacon grease in a little tub in the refrigerator because I want to be like Kelly Hogan and have a bunch of bacon grease in my refrigerator. But then I heard you don't even have to put it in your refrigerator. You can put it in one of these. You can, what's that called? Strain it if you want. And then this little beauty, it says Zule Kitchen on the, okay. This can just sit out on your countertop with your bacon grease, and then you use your bacon grease to cook. Isn't that cute? Ah, sorry, very clanky. Okay. What else? All right, here's something I bought. I saw this girl, and she took a tiny waffle maker. I didn't know they made tiny waffle makers. I like anything tiny, little miniature. Yesterday I saw little Croc keychains. They were this big. They would definitely fit a baby that was like premature. So tiny. I saw a girl and she had an itty bitty waffle maker. I didn't know they made them. Teeny tiny little waffle maker. And here's what she did with it. She would take 2 egg yolks, put them in this little waffle maker, crack them. They spread all out. She shut the lid, got these little egg yolks all crisped up. So cute. Hers made them in little heart shapes. And then she put butter on them, and they just look so yummy and tasty and delicious. And so I thought we would really enjoy that. And see, you can tell, I gotta make this fun. I gotta make it like my brain's gotta light up in healthy ways for healthy reasons. Not the way it lit up at Easter, let me tell you. And by the way, that was a good reminder that for those of us that binge, it's a sad reality that we are getting the biggest dopamine hit before we even take the first bite. I was way more excited about the food than I was with the food. And when I say food, I don't even mean food. Dopamine is released the moment we decide to indulge. It's released the moment we decide that we're going to binge, and then the binge falls flat. In fact, we're actually so revved up, sometimes it's like, I'm not even sure I can taste it. And of course, I had to keep tasting it to make sure, did I even taste that? I'm pretty sure I tasted it. Ugh. Okay, so if I want my brain lighten up, I don't mind treating myself to some of this stuff and getting rid of some stuff. And that's why, honestly, it's one reason I had so much to give out on Easter morning to the people downtown, because I've been really phasing some stuff out of our kitchen. All right, here's these cute little waffle makers. Look at this. Look how cute that is. Oh, that's not the box. Here it is. Dash. They had lots of colors. They had red and black, and they had some with like skulls on it or just like different designs. I bought the 2-pack because I have 5 kids, and when we start making egg yolk waffles, or if I let them actually make waffles, which I will, we have pancake mix, I think it would be sort of anticlimactic for all of us to wait in a long, long line for little waffles to be made like that. So anyways, we got 2. I got the 2-pack. Super cute. I'm gonna put egg yolks in it and then put butter on top, and they'll be so yummy and crispy. Okay, one more thing. I think this is no, 2 more things. I bought these. Cake baking tools. So I'm actually having more fun baking than ever, because instead of dough, I'm using ground beef. You saw my egg, if you watched my video about I've been keeping a juicy secret. At the end of that, I show you that I made some egg muffins. So country ham sausage with egg in the muffin pans. Then I bought myself a very heavyweight rolling pin, because I want to put a big, huge pile of ground beef on my island and roll it out. And then once I have it rolled out, I'm going to make heart-shaped hamburger patties. Kelly Hogan eats hamburger patties and calls them meat cookies. These will be meat cookies and meat cakes. Look how cute this is. Franklin and I were looking at this tonight, and he said, Mama, for your birthday, we should make a meat cake. And then he said, we'll take the little bitty one and make meat cupcakes for everybody. So, these are a win. I had no idea that the biggest one was going to be this big. I don't know what I was thinking, but I think that'll be really, really cute, because Kelly Hogan from My Zero Carb Life, she is, there are some really awesome carnivore people, carnivore, lots of people I've been listening to. She is a school teacher. She's got a bunch of kids. She's kind of like my peer, sort of. So I like listening to her. She eats 4 quarter-pound burgers for her first meal almost every single day. So I've been taking this beef that we have in these 1-pound packages, and a couple days I just made one giant burger. So she eats 1 pound for her first meal, and sometimes another pound for her second meal. Again, she's been doing it for 12 years, so she's gotten to the point where food is fuel, period. And she is so cute and so fit, and she has so much energy, and she's just living life, and she's interested in a whole lot more than what she's chewing and swallowing, even though I'm telling you, hamburgers are delicious when you're hungry, and they're not when you're not. So this is like how you can regulate hunger. That was the problem I got into week 2 when I was eating all this snacky stuff, because I could eat it, I could keep putting it down even though I wasn't hungry. You can't do that with ground beef. Whew, when you get full, you are full. So this, Kelly Hogan, I'm talking to you. Comment below, tell me hi, email me your address, and I'm gonna send you a set of these to represent how much I love you and how much I appreciate what you're doing for people, including me. Okay, so here's my point. I could take this giant one, and in a couple days I just took that 1 pound package of burger, and instead of breaking it into little burgers, I just made one huge patty, and it was the size of my plate, and it was delicious. So I could just, if I'm having a rough day, or Greg doesn't give me anything for Valentine's Day, I can make myself a giant heart burger. Or maybe I could bake him one for Valentine's Day. Okay, finally, this notebook right here. This is just something that I've decided I'm going to use to mark this journey and keep up with it. Have you all seen the movie Wild with Reese Witherspoon? Oh my gosh, it was amazing. It had a big impact on me, actually. It was very interesting, and I watched it in just the right mood, I guess, because I was so kind of impressed by the whole idea of this journey that this woman went on. Now, it's rated R with good reason. Don't watch it with kids in the room. I tried. Didn't go so well. I had to stop it like on minute 3. But she keeps a journey. Excuse me, she keeps a journal on her journey, and I'm going to do the same thing. She does the Pacific Crest Trail. I'm doing the try to lose weight trail that I've been on for 25 years that turns out there's a whole lot more to it than weight. So here's my little journal. I wrote in it today. At some point, I think while Claire was at baseball or Franklin was getting his Mexican food. Emily Myers, March 27, 2002, Kelly Hogan, 3-minute video, ate my first carnivore meal, ribeye. Yum. Freaked out and quickly ate 2 rice cakes covered in natural peanut butter. I think I knew something was in the works, and I really did do that. I ate that ribeye meal on March 27th, and then I literally scurried. Like, what have I done? What am I doing? This isn't how I operate, is it? I literally grabbed 2 rice cakes, covered them in peanut butter, and ate it almost like, I think I could subconsciously tell I'm about to kick all this stuff out of here. And I have. April 1st, 2022, officially started the carnivore diet, 1-month challenge with Greg. 17 days later, April 17th, 2022, Easter Sunday, Greg and I went bonkers on sugar and flour, cake, Cadbury eggs, epic, they called it epic stuffed crust pizza from Papa John's. But I ate absolutely no fruits and vegetables. Why? Because I have standards. I'll eat a Cadbury egg, but I will not eat a blueberry. Nope. Why would I? Why would I? If I'm going to eat sugar, I'm going to eat sugar. Okay. April 18th, 2022, started 100 days of carnivore with Greg. Day 100 is 7/27/22, which is our 20-year anniversary. April 21st, 2022, that's today. That's day 1 of BBBE. It's also day 1 of letting this big cat, as in a lion, out of the bag. Something else I bought that's coming in the mail is a giant picture of a lion and a lioness. It's so beautiful. I'll end this video with that picture. And I wasn't going to buy it. Well, I'm surprising Greg with it. I got a big one for our bedroom. And I kind of wasn't going to buy it because the lioness, she looks kind of worried. But that's how I feel a lot. Greg is so steady. He's been in the same mood since the day I met him. And it's a good mood. I am emotional. God has blessed me with all sorts of sensitivities. Spiritual sensitivities. Sugar sensitivities. And there's just times where I feel like the lioness in this picture and I'm like this. And then Greg's pressing up against me going, "You're okay." It's very, very sweet. So that's one more thing that I bought. But nothing, that's it. Eryn, did that answer your question? Do I go to the YMCA? Not right now. I'm recalibrating because I got to get my food under control before I add in exercise so that the exercise does not throw me for a loop, right? And I've got to let my body adjust to operating on sustained energy, not instant sugar. And that's what it was doing. My energy level, it's been rough. It's been pretty rough, but I think I shot myself in the foot week 2 by eating very low nutrient foods. And I think I'm onto something here, letting myself have more hours of fasting. I'm feeling better than ever. I know that this will help me, showing you all my photo food diary. And I'll show you lots of pictures, you know, of stuff around the house or whatever. Tools that I use or things. I don't know. I might weave in some vlogging, but there should just be 2 pictures a day because I aim to eat 2 meals. A friend of mine said he would only eat, he tried eating OMAD. There's, in the carnivore glossary, OMAD means 1 meal a day, but he said he noticed that when he only did 1 meal a day, he tended to binge. And I thought that was so insightful because I think I would do the same thing. I think I would think this is my only opportunity. I better keep going and going and going and going. And it'll be hard to like take that final bite. I think I would be thinking, this is it for the day. And it'd be hard to find a stopping point on that 1 meal. So far, so good. And I'm going to go ahead and put myself to bed before I get a fasting, any more fasting energy. I feel nice and tired right now. I can honestly tell you that since I've been doing this, there is a steadiness when you're not spiking your sugar all day long, whether it's with good sugar packed with vitamins that you can get from animals, packed with fiber that you don't have to have. Whether it's good, bad, or ugly sugar, it's sugar. And I have felt very steady and present and clear-headed. And I've felt really good when I've been awake. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and put myself to bed and look forward to day 2. Thank you for your question, Eryn. If you all have any more questions, feel free to ask. I'm getting a little tired. But I think we did it. I think we chatted for more than an hour. I promised the girls I'd come up there and give them a kiss. I'll go do that. I love you all dearly. Let's talk again soon. Bye. Eryn, forgive me. Your profile picture after all these years. I thought it was 2 little kittens. It's 1 little kitten and 1 little bunny. So cute. Good night. I love you all. Let's talk again soon. Bye.